what is there in Rise of Ashoka to watch? I mean, the content చూసుకున్నట్లయితే మీరు రిచ్ అండ్ పావర్టీ, ఆ డామినేషన్ చూపించారు, ఆ పెయిన్ అండ్ దాంట్లో ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ అయ్యి ఒక మనిషి బయటకు వచ్చి అది అంతా పోరాడి. సో ఈ స్టోరీస్ మనం చూస్తూనే ఉన్నాం. ఇలాంటి స్టోరీస్కి చాలా వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది, మేము చూస్తూనే ఉన్నాం అప్పుడప్పుడు. కానీ ఈ సినిమా ఎందుకు చూడాలి? ఈ క్వశ్చన్ నేను ఎప్పుడో అడగాలి లాస్ట్లో, కానీ ఇప్పుడే అడగాల్సి వచ్చింది బికాస్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఆన్సర్.
ఆల్వేస్ లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ దిస్ ఇస్. ప్లీజ్.
No, this is like you said, there from centuries there are stories being spoken about, being told about the community, the rich, the poor. That doesn't mean cinema cannot be said in a different way. For example, every house has a mother and a father, but that doesn't mean every house the same story happens between the mother and the father. No. So it's every time there's a different story happening in every single house. So this is also a story that is coming from a different house, that's it. So it could be that the outtake of the story, the outlook of the story, or when you see the one line of the story that the rich and the poor, that the whatever the bifurcation is there, that the fight is there, the war is there. We say that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Yes.
That when we speak about economy, that is what we speak about. So, but and that fight continues to happen every single day. But like I said, this is just because the outlook is the same, that doesn't mean the content is the same. It is a very well written content, and this is a story that happened. This is a true story. This so the story that has happened near Chamrajnagar. So this is a true story that has happened, that has been adapted and written by T.K. Dayanand sir, and then Sathish sir and Manu Shedgar, both of them wrote the screenplay, and then the screenplay was developed, and our director also at the point when he was present, he's no longer with us, but when he was there, so all of them together built a screenplay around this real story. So when it's a real story, it's happened in the community. It has been experienced by people in that community. People have gone through some suffering, have gone through all of that, and there has been an uprising that has taken place and changed the community as a whole. For example, this cinema is set in the 70s. So at that point of time, I can't say education for girls was difficult. Education in itself was difficult, especially when you come for villages. Any rural side in the 70s, education, quality education in itself is very difficult. A lot of people from the 70s, kids, they did not, like for example, they had no access to the language. English language only was very, very difficult. They did not have that. Or quality education. For example, if they're being taught science, and in the 70s, if somebody studied in the urban areas, their quality of education was, there's a huge difference. Today, at least, the bridge is a little smaller. So that education also was very difficult, be it for men or women back in the 70s. So at that point of time, the character, Ashoka's character is a very well educated character, including my character. Even though it's the 70s, she studied up until the 10th grade, she studied, she has a small little business of her own, like what we call small businesses and all of that. She has a small business of her own, Ambika's character. Ashoka's character is wanting to be a revenue officer. That's how much he studied. Wow. In the 70s. So what happens to that character? Does he become a revenue officer? How does he, once all of that happens, what happens in his life? What happens in Ambika's life? And so all of these characters together, nowhere in the cinema will you see one character being, like completely, suddenly there's like just for a commercial purpose being taken above or below. Oh. There's nothing like that. Everybody is treated as one character throughout the movie. So I think there are a lot of elements. There's